Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Dogman Sasquatch Oklahoma Encounters. My name's Lance Hightower, one of the Cryptid brothers, coming to you from Tulsa, Oklahoma. I hope everybody's well out there in your neck of the woods, wherever you may be. Before we do this episode, we're going to get right into recognizing our subbers out there. I'm going to get right back to it. It's a small token of our appreciation to thank you, for without you, we would not have a show. We appreciate you sharing with your friends and family all over the world, so let's get into it. We have Chris Snyder, Tom Jansen, Just for Fun, 402450, Nick Echo, Charlie Schaffner, Matt Taylor, Adlin Zart, Kamaluga27, Tobias Franzik, Vickman67337, Terry Strickland, 63142, Rowan G, Jenno Hall, Danny Cam, Ratone JR, James Bethia, Witchman, Ryan Manley, Chris B, 14U762, Tiny Taberry, Alan Wilkins, Judith Morgan, Christy Heine, Joey Powell, Chateau Mojo, Stacy Mommy, Amy Abbott, Joe Minford, and Vodka Peter. Thank you guys, we appreciate you, and keep commenting out there. I don't get to read all of them, but I know a lot of folks learn and they appreciate it, so please keep commenting out there. In addition to that, before we get onto this episode, I want to say thank you so very much. We are so blessed and honored to have so many of you call into the toll-free number. If I haven't got to you, please be patient. We've been so overwhelmed with calls that I have Sarah helping me, and we are returning the calls. It does take time because when we call, sometimes folks don't answer, and so please leave the correct number for us to get right back with you, and we will, I promise, so hang in there. So this episode is one of those episodes that's just incredible. I learn from every episode. Every time I hear a story, it's never the same. It's always a little different. So one of the things that we've been very blessed with is getting more and more of these encounters and stories from individuals that have seen these cryptids and have been confronted by agents. Now, we collectively call them the Men in Black. They're not always men. There are women as well. But they're starting to become more prevalent in these stories because people are finally coming forward and talking about it. But in many cases, people talk about it prior to being spoken to by these agents, if you will, or feds. So we're going to get into it with Richard. Richard is his real name. He didn't care if we used it. And without giving it all away, I'll just say this. Pay attention to what he describes he saw and where he saw it and who confronted him immediately after. Let's go there now and see what Richard had to say this past New Year's.
Well, I tell you, I run into some stuff back in 2001, and I talked to a gentleman about it. I was really dumb to this. I was just dumb to all this stuff because I was born and raised in the woods. I mean, my grandmother, she's an Indian, full-blooded. I've been in the woods all my life, and I ain't never seen nothing, So I mean, But anyways, now I know they're there. 2001, I had a big deal. Well, the weekend before New Year's, a gentleman named JT works at a park here in Central Florida.
This year, Richard?
Of this year, just a few weeks ago. And JT says, Richard, I got to tell you this, something. I think it might be a homeless person, or I don't know, but, I know you went through what you went through. Everybody in this part of Florida knows about what happened with me. So, and I told him, I've been working on getting back in the woods and being sensible about stuff, but it was kind of hard what happened to me. But I did, and I went with JT to the park. He's got a key. He works at the park. Or he worked at the park.
Okay.
We go to the park, and he showing me what's been going on. And it's something to do with garbage cans. They got rubber flaps on them. So I pull up. When you go through the park, you come around a curve and you pull up. There's a convenient place that they have little get-togethers, barbecues, whatnots.
Oh.
They got a few of them in the park. There was a bunch of Mexicans playing pinata, I think. I think that's what they call it. And we were sitting there and was watching the kids hit. JT was saying, yeah, Richard, this is where it comes. He was looking at the garbage cans. We was parked right in front of garbage cans. And he was saying, yeah, they come this way and they come that way and they do this. And we look to the left, and this is 4 o'clock in the afternoon. This is not even, it's not dark.
Oh, wow.
And here's a limb that's moving. And every time the kids, they'd spin the kids around, and the kids would go and start hitting this thing that was hanging from the little barn like they've got.
Right.
The tree limb was moving, we could see it, but that's all we seen, enough. And I was listening to JT tell me, and I was thinking, what the hell? What the hell is that? And when the kids hit it solid, I seen some of it poke out, like come out, like it, like you could see more of it.
Oh.
I said, what is this thing?
Mm-hmm.
All right. This guy told me to call you. Bigfoot is real. I mean, it's a fact. I mean, everybody knows that. I've seen it with my own eyes. I know. But this is, I don't know what you want to call this thing. It had a face, like it come out kind of like a dog-like, but it wasn't a dog.
Oh, so it was more canine in features.
Yeah, to me, yes. Yeah. It didn't have and it didn't have a pointed ears like a dog, but the face looked like a dog. It was coming out some.
Huh. Like a muzzle, like a dog muzzle.
Yeah, like a dog muzzle, something like that. No, I ain't never heard of that, man.
How far away was this that you were observing?
Without stretching anything, I'm getting a look at it now. I'm out here feeding. 40 yards, 37, 40 yards.
Oh, wow.
I mean, it's I could hit it with a rock. If I got out of the truck, I could hit it with a rock. We're sitting there.
And did it see you ever?
No, yeah, it did see us, but when they started getting rough with the donkey or whatever you want to call it that was hanging from the string.
The pinata, yeah.
Yeah, it would come out more, and then probably, 3 or 4 minutes into this, it come out like it picked a limb up and was out, and his eyes was big as big black eyes anyways, but they got real big.
It came out of the wood line.
Yeah, it was no, not the whole thing, just the limb was coming up where he was wanting to come out like he wanted to, I think he wanted to play Pinani, or he was getting excited about the kids. It was bothering me.
Oh, interesting. Did the Hispanic family ever see any of this that you're aware of?
No, all the attention got brought to us before I get done here. We're sitting there, and this thing is doing, getting excited, and then it turns and looks right at us. It looks right at us, and it's got a surprise face looking at the kids doing this, and when it looked at us, it kind of got a little mean face, like roar, like kind of, you know what I'm saying? And then the kids hit it again, and it turned away from us, like, forget you, man. We went in the middle of the truck. I'm not getting out of the truck. I'm sitting there, but I'm thinking, hey, is it the pinata? Is it this pinata, or is this thing wanting to kill? I'm getting concerned about it. So I take my phone, and wait till he comes out. I'm taking pictures. I'm taking a pictures that is perfect. No doubt, no. So there's no doubt. There's no nothing. So we're sitting there, and I see a black truck, a black it's not a Chevy, it's a Blazer, Blazer.
Okay.
I seen a black Blazer go by, and JT says, Richard, I've seen them here all week. I said, what do you mean you've seen them there all week? He goes, that truck, there's a couple of them here. I said, oh. Well, when they went by, I noticed the guy was looking at us real funny, and I thought, I'm not doing nothing wrong. I'm in a state park. I'm pulled over to the side. And then another one come by, and it was a lady in it. 2 different people, windows down, looking right at us. So I've got a bird dog with me, Buddy, and the truck come back around. I seen it disappear, and it turned around right around the curve, and it come back to us. And I'm fixing to get out and say something to these people, like I'm getting concerned right now. Well, when the truck comes back up there, my dog starts like hollering and shaking his head and hollering, and this thing drops the limb and books. I mean, books. I'm thinking, what the hell? What's this? Why is my dog? I mean, it's kind of like hurting. Like my dog's hurting. Something's wrong with his head. He's shaking his head and he's kind of hurting. He's whining real bad. I'm sitting right here with my dog right now, and I'm thinking, what the hell? What's going on? And the guy pulls up beside us and gets out and says, he needed to see my identification, my ID. I said, for what? Well, you're messing with an investigation. So I'm thinking, okay, there must be one of these Mexicans' dads or somebody here. I didn't want to say nothing to this guy, but, I just didn't want him to think I was an idiot. So I didn't want to say nothing to this guy.
Right.
Because you don't say stuff to people. They think you're idiots. I've done been through this. So JT is there. I said, man, you need to get some pictures. You need to get some pictures. He's been with the state park I know he's been there for over 9 years. And he does the garbage cleanup. This is the reason I'm in there, because he's told me about this. But he says, this is what I've seen. This is what I've seen, but I've only seen shadows of this big thing. I thought it was a vagrant out here. But it wasn't. It was this, I don't know what you want to call it. It's something. It's a grilled dog, or I don't know what it is. But what happens next is I back up. I back into the turnaround. I go back to the entry of the gate, and we pull in. As soon as we get there, the guy's, he's got my ID. I'm going to get my ID. I had to go up there, get away from there, follow him. I'm thinking, okay, some of them the bad people there, I guess. That's what's going on. And as we're driving up there, JT says, hey, what does he mean investigation? These people ain't here every day. I'm here. I've never seen these people in my life. But maybe they follow the people there. We're just making this in our head. It's a couple miles. It wasn't far. I said, well, we're fixing to find out anyway. So we get there, and he says, you got to, what's in between your seats there? I said, it's my laptop. He goes, I need to have that, please.
What?
I says, no, my laptop. I said, where's my laptop? What do you mean? You need to talk to me before I give you anything else. Give me my ID back, matter of fact. I'm getting a little aggravated with this guy. Well, I'm sitting there running, jawing with him, and then the lady comes back, and then my dog starts that screaming and stuff, and I'm thinking, what the hell? If you put your hands over your ears and hum, that's what I got when her vehicle pulled up again.
Oh, I know what's going on. Yeah, go ahead.
That's all I can tell you. And when she reached up and shut whatever, my dog stopped. I mean, my dog's foaming at the mouth and everything. This is not cool. So I know what's going on in the vehicle. Something's in there, something to do with the vehicle. I don't know what.
Yeah, I've heard about this, but go ahead.
Okay, I've never heard about none of that. I'm dumb to all this. So, but anyways, what happened is he's got my phone now. He's trying to get my laptop, because it's a picture. I can take pictures of it with it, but I did not do anything with it. I never even grabbed it. I was going to, but I didn't grab it. But I'm not thinking any of this at this time. I'm thinking I've done something wrong by parked there they're after these Mexican guys or women or whatever, clown. I'm thinking they're in drugs, something stupid. I'm thinking.
Right.
So he takes my phone and he's trying to get my man. Listen, you're not getting nothing else from me but handcuffs on me because we're fixing to roll around here. You're not just, who are you and what do you want with me? I told him who I was and blah, blah, blah. And, there's nothing, I've done nothing wrong. I don't do stuff wrong. So you got the wrong, you're in the wrong field, buddy. You're at the wrong person right now. But he took my phone and they took my SIMS card out of my phone and give me my phone back. Took my SIMS card out of my phone.
Right in front of you?
No, with their backs to me. They stepped by the thing like they was reading, like they was looking something up on me, and they wasn't looking nothing up on me because there's nothing to look up on me.
He wanted your photos. He wanted all your contacts and who you've been.
He got all of my stuff, took it, and then when they handed me my phone back, it was off, and I thought, what's off? And I pushed it on, and it come on, and it said, no SIM, or no FM, no, it meant it's no SIM card, what it meant. FM, or IM, or something. It come up with a thing on it. I said, what the hell is this? What's going on? I tried to it didn't have none of my stuff in it, nothing. So at that time, I said, hey, I don't know what you do with my phone, but you better fix my phone. I mean, I'm coming strong. Then they pull the little things out of their shirt and drop it down and said, listen, no one would believe anything you would have to say anyways, so why do you want to go any further with this? And then it just dawned on me, he's got my phone. Is this what this is about? I said, is this what this is about? This what I was doing with my camera? He goes, don't play dumb. Well, how else would I play? I don't even know what you're talking about, you goof. I mean, it's off the wall with this. This is in the middle of the day. I mean, what are these people doing? What are they doing?
Well, did your buddy have any insight to give you on this as well?
Yeah, he lost his job.
Oh, really?
Yes, he was fired Monday morning. I was told I was not allowed back in the park, but I went back to the park and they said it's all misunderstanding. I'm more than welcome to come in.
Oh, so they told you couldn't come back even to the park.
That's right. And then I went back immediately and I was calling my lawyer. I'm going to get to the bottom of it. And I was calling my lawyer, and what was I going to tell my lawyer?
Well, you didn't have much to tell him or go on.
What can I tell him? I mean, really, honestly.
Well, can we back up just a little bit here? Tell me did they have government tags on their cars?
Yes, they had government tags on their cars, and that's all you could see. It was blackout. Once they rolled the windows up, you couldn't see nothing in it.
What did these people, how were they dressed?
They was, the guy was dressed like a regular Joe. The lady was dressed, kind of in between. Not fancy, but not really shaggy. The guy looked kind of shaggy-like, real rough-looking, guy or, something like that. And they said something about, now I can't say I heard. I'm not going to tell you what I thought I heard. I just can tell you what I know. I don't see how anybody has the right to do that at all. I mean, it's a phone.
That just burns me that they do this. But I'm going to tell you right now, it gets done every day. It gets done every day, and you're one of the many people that get confronted like this that have no clue what's going on behind the scenes, because he's partly right. They won't believe that this agency exists, but it does. It's an agency that, whatever they call themselves, and it's basically, we call them in general the men in black, or in this case, the men and women in black. They're in government cars, and they actually go out across the country in areas that they have hotspots of these cryptids that are in high active areas, that they are getting close to the public. If they can prevent an encounter from occurring or a contact occurring to a human, or from them getting shot and being identified, or in any way that they can kind of shut the chatter down or the firestorm, if you will, they're scattered out. There's numerous agents like this, and some of these people may not be direct federal employees. Some may be contracted, private citizens contracted through the government to basically, they might have backgrounds in outdoors, they might be trackers, and they're basically hired, and they're working in conjunction with the federal department, whatever department this is, or whatever they call themselves. Again, we just call them in general the Men in Black. And what they do, their job is to make sure that you do not take, they try to collect all phones, cameras, pictures, iPads, computers, anything that would remotely have any data storage device that would show, any video especially, that would show that these things exist. They don't even ask permission, they take it. They get on your land without any permission. They feel that they can go anywhere at any time, and they have the authority to do it. They use a lot of bully tactics, a lot of aggression tactics. They will blackmail you. They will jail you. They can say all they have to do is make stuff up and show their badges, and other local law enforcement will abide. That's the problem that these people have, is that they can do whatever the hell they want to do, and that just burns me.
Well, I don't understand why they would want to do it to begin with. I mean, they got people on the internet making this a hoax. You know this. They have to throw out some videos to make it a hoax. I know that. I had a bad experience, like I say, in 2000, 2001, with some cops involved. I've only talked to one person about this, Wes. I talked to Wes a while back. It's been a while back. And I told him about, what happened to me then. But this here, the gentleman told me your number and did not tell me your name.
Oh,
is there anything I can do? I mean,
here's what
I don't know what to do. And whatever they had in their in that lady's truck, I don't even have my paperwork that I've got to have on my computer. It's gone.
Which computer was this? A work computer?
Yes, in my truck. It's gone. All my stuff's gone on my truck. Even some drawings that my grandson done with a pen. It's gone. And they did not touch my computer. I showed my ass with that.
Tell me again what they took. If they didn't take your...
They took my phone. He took my phone and my ID. That's what they got.
Okay, they took your phone and ID.
He took my SIM card out of my phone, and they handed it back to me like I wouldn't notice something was wrong with my phone. Well, nobody touched my Nobody touched my computer in the middle seat in my truck. Nobody. I would not let him touch my...
Here's the reason.
I was going to jail. They was going to tell me what was up before they went into my truck.
Well, they'll never tell you who they really are. And if they give you any kind of name, you can bet a $10 bill it's not their real name.
I tried to listen for that, and I couldn't get it.
And so sometimes they give their name, but it's just a fictitious, rambling name. I mean, their job is to never identify themselves, never identify who they are, never identify their superior, never identify the department they work for. Sometimes you might hear a general term of Department of Defense. Well, that term is we understand what the Department of Defense is. It's Homeland Security. And so you can think, what the hell is Homeland Security? Now, that may be a little made up for certain, but I think there is some truth to part of that, being Homeland Security or Department of Defense. I think it's a branch of that. I don't think it falls underneath the major military personnel that we all know, men and women going overseas and fighting for us. I think that this is a branch, a secret branch of the military that involves agents, past military officers, contracted public personnel that's specialized in wildlife tracking. And I think what their job is to do is, like I said, their job is to locate these cryptids, to identify before they become an issue, or they listen to the chatter on social media. They've got people listening to social media, people that listening to police scanners. If they're lucky enough to get the first line of information coming from someone that called a local sheriff, a game warden. The game warden is the direct connection to these guys sometimes. So from that point on, the game wardens are instructed. They've got numbers. They call directly into these federal personnel, and their job is to locate, remove, or extract, and then clean up the area as if it never happened. They rank it up there. Their job. They knew. So something I have heard about these cars that they drive around that have a high pitch frequency that you and I cannot hear, but dogs can. They have found
my dog was sick.
He was
drooling and everything.
They found out that what they were dealing with was possibly canine in nature. It could have been one of these cryptids, these creatures that are a combination of a canine and Sasquatch. You know, if you ask me,
there is such a thing.
I have heard that there is such a thing. Yes.
Well, I'm going to tell you something. I know Bigfoot, but this thing was just way a little bit more than that, because he had the teeth. You could see his teeth. You could see his muzzle. I could see everything. I had it on picture. I blew it up. I took one where it wasn't fuzzy. I said, I got it. There's no fuzzy to this. Man, look. I had the time to do whatever, because as soon as the branch started shaking, I knew they was getting rough with that pin, whatever, yada thing. And he was sticking his head out like, here, look at me. Get another picture, pal, because it was just that easy. And you know, and I know, this ain't never going to happen again. There's no way I'm going to pull up and there it is. There's just no way. You know, it just.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the sad part, Richard. At this point in time, I would like to say I know who exactly to go to get your stuff back, but that once they have it, they'll never divulge a name. You'll never know a department. Your Sims card is gone. I mean,
they told me that basically. I must have dropped it when they handed it back to me. Look around there, because we didn't touch it. They're liars is what they are.
Yeah, they're liars.
Absolutely.
They're liars, and they get paid to lie, blackmail. They can threaten you legally, believe it or not, because they know that the general public, if you go out and try to tell people, go to the newspaper or go to an attorney, what's going to happen, they're going to talk to the attorney, and they're basically going to say, you need to drop this right now. And it would be in your best interest, if you want to retain your law license, to drop it as of today. Are we clear? So they threaten everyone that you try to affiliate with. And I'm just telling you the facts.
Well, they're going to have to drop mine, because I'm going to go after it even harder with this if I can find out any more about this. But my connection's fired. He's gone. So I don't even know where to start with this.
Well, it's sad. Did your buddy even find out why he was fired?
No. He told me, and he said this. He cannot have anything to do with me right now or anybody else at the park. I said, why me? I don't work at the park. He just says, man, I'm going to lose my pitch. I'm going to lose everything. Right now, I've got all that intact. I just don't have a job. I mean, this guy's going to retire any time. He worked for Williams Garbage Disposal for years. That was my grandpa. That's how I even knew the man. A good man. He's never done. This guy wouldn't hurt a fly.
Well, see,
and he was just telling me what he done. He showed me. That's all. This is how this all come about to begin with.
Well, see, this is what they use. They don't care how good of a person is. All they care about is threatening you. and they don't care about people's loss of income, or if they try to basically find anything they can, and they'll go to the employer as well. This is all basically tactics to coerce you and threaten you and scare the living hell out of you so you can keep your mouth shut and just be quiet. That's it. Be quiet about everything you saw. It did not exist. And that's what they're doing. They're using threats and tactics, and they try to do this. Well, they don't try. They do it every day. It's just not them. There's a lot more of them, a lot more like them out there every day, and that's what they do to people. And they don't pay you off. They basically threaten you.
Scare you off.
They scare you. If you want to get a retirement, and you need to stay away from your buddy because we'll be watching you. We'll be phone tapping you. We will know what you do before you know what you do. That's how they do it. They do it with these scare tactics, and it pisses me to no end that they do this each and every day to good folks, good people. They're there at a moment where they see these things, and it's almost unbelievable. It's like, is this really happening? Not only are you seeing a cryptid you never knew existed, this creature, and especially at 4 o'clock in the broad daylight.
That's what blew my mind.
But
we went there because he wouldn't do it at night. And we can go in the gate at night. We got the combinations to it. We could go in. And I tried to get him to do it, but he says, no way in hell. No, I'm not doing that, man. I'm telling you, it's going to freak you out. So we went during the day to show me in daytime what's going on. And there it was. I mean, there it was. If I could get this out of my head and
how big?
Oh my God.
How big do you estimate, in your opinion, was the height, or how big, bulky do you think it weighed? Could you give any indication of that whatsoever?
Oh, I can tell you exactly, because when I went back to prove my point after they told me it was a misunderstanding, the tree limb that he had where his limb was up against this scrub oak, I measured it. I've got taped with me all kinds, 100s and 300s and everything. This thing was 7'9" 3/4", just about. And he had some puffy hair, so I give it a little bit of doubt. So that's the doubt I give it. And it didn't have much of a lower end. It looked it looked like a V, this big rascal. He come up, he was not built like it looked like he had a little wimpy legs, you know. I couldn't see him real good. I really couldn't. But this top end, mister, he would shake your brains loose. He was a strong rascal, this thing was. And I don't think it was a female because I could see his chest. I could see his gray skin as perfect as anything. I could see his little ear or hole. It looked like I couldn't tell the ear, and I tried to see it. But it just was like, I could see the hole, but it kind of was a small, really small compared to the head, and its lips went right around like a dog. It had the not lips, but, the muzzle like the skin, and he had the teeth just like a serious dog, but the really canine's bad, because when he turned to look, his mouth is all you could see it. 2 top, 2 bottom. It looked like a couple more on the back side, a little bit behind the canines. And just as perfect. His fingernails was black, really black, and it was fingernails. It was not claws. It had, they was long, but it wasn't like a sharp claw, like a dog's claw. Right. It didn't look like that.
So it was more, it was more ape-like in the claws, in the nails. It had
this
more.
This is all on its own, buddy. This thing's all on its own. This ain't got no.
And with this
ain't got nothing on it.
Where this state park, it was located in Florida.
Yes, in Central Florida, Sarasota, Florida. Matter of fact.
Wow. Well, I think somehow they obviously knew that this creature was in that area. They had to know that they had some reports. Well, that's a great question. I don't know if they had someone else have seen this thing if it was coming out in broad daylight. And
that's what JT said. He said it had to be because he's seen it. He did not see it. He's seen the shadows of it because he does a garbage run late in the afternoon and real early in the morning when he has to do it. But he only does it twice late or early morning, and he does it 3 times late afternoon. And he was doing garbage, and they got, picture a mud flap on a square box, okay, with a 2x4 for a handle screwed through it. Okay. You follow what I'm saying?
Yes. Pick
it up, and you drop it. It makes a flop. It's not metal. The garbage can's inside this wood structure. So there's 2 garbage cans. Some of them's 1, some of them's 2, you know. And you can hear him flopping. He could hear him flopping. I did not. When he was getting the garbage. All the way to him. And it get real close to him, and he would haul ass because it scared him. Whatever it was had hands, and he thought it was a vagrant. But he said it was so big that he just didn't know what to say. He didn't know what to say. So he wanted to show me. I said, well, you think we could see tracks or something? Because I'm kind of into this a little bit because of what happened to me, okay? So I know what's close around the park because my situation happened about 4 miles from the park. So I know, I know what's there, but I didn't expect this. I did not expect something completely not even whatever.
It never looked like what you saw back some time ago.
Yeah, 2001 is, I had the worst thing in my life happen to me. That's yeah, that was bad. That was really bad. It stopped me. I didn't hunt no more. I quit. I stopped. It freaked me out so bad. Hog hunting. If you got a minute, I'll tell you. I'd be more than happy to.
Yes, please. Go ahead.
Well, I hunted hogs all of my life. When I sold them to Georgia, I sold them to hunting preserves. They paid by the teeth, not by the hog. Good hog, you make good money. So I had some super dogs. I had dogs that hunted I had some bulldogs and I had a cur dog. And anyways, prior to Bigfoot, period, I didn't want to hear about it. I didn't believe nothing anybody had to say. My grandmother tried to talk to me about it, and I would listen with respect because of my grandmother, and my dad would spank my bottom, so I would listen. But I believed none of it. I mean, how can you? I was born and raised in the woods. It's the truth. If anybody's ever told you that, and you didn't believe them, you can believe what I'm telling you because I was raised in the woods. That's where I was.
Oh, I understand. I totally understand.
I never seen anything such as this, or even, there's some things that happen that I can't explain, but, I just not that. I don't believe it. Never did. And my buddy, Bo, I'll say Bo, he is the head man at Aquatics in Manatee County, which is in Sarasota. He was the head guy. He's retired now, but he's the head man, but worked there for years. He was my partner. So we're out hunting a place called Deer Prairie Slough. Well, this is the first, no big deal on this, but our dog started acting crazy, coming back to us, wouldn't go, and just on. And I thought, what the heck? Well, we heard a hog squealing, and it wouldn't shut up. So I'm thinking somebody else is out here hunting. Their dog caught a hog. Let's go. Stay back. Let me go ahead. I'm going to choke this dog off so we can go about our business tonight. We're trying to make money. So I go up there and thinking, I don't, he comes up there and I said, man, let me try it. He goes, wait, well, look right here to your right. Look, it's a full moon night. We can see, you can see good. It's black. Whatever this was stood up with a hog facing backwards and took off with it. So, and jumped the creek. Jumped the creek.
With the hog?
With the hog. So, after a few minutes, I looked at my buddy. We go look, and there's a big skid mark. There's no evidence, just what we see. I said, man, what the hell was that? He goes, there's a big bird that caught a hog and it flew off. I said, okay. That's it. That's really what we said. I hate to tell you, but it's the truth. It's stupid, but it's what it is. Well, not long after that, we go to a grove, which is not a couple miles from where we seen this. And it's a big grove. It's got deer fence around the back side of it to keep the deer out of it and all this. We get out, same dogs, but I had a puppy with me at that time, bulldog, crazy, idiot dog. And we take off running, get to the end, let the dogs do their business and stuff. And we stop, and I say, go ahead. We turn the curve. It's not a full curve. It's like a 45. We're going around it. All of a sudden, the deer fence just starts shaking and you won't move. I mean, like something a truck hit it. And a couple orange trees started shaking. I mean, just everywhere. I said, what the hell? Bo says, Richard, what the hell happened? I said, them dogs jumped a damn bunch of deer. What happened? And they just went crazy. They hit that hog wild like that? I said, yeah, that's what I would think. I mean, they run in the trees. They went everywhere. So we're okay. So we walk around, and I hear something in the tree going, oh. So I took my light, and I shine underneath the tree, and my dog's hanging off a limb, my bulldog, idiot dog.
Hanging off?
I said, man, look at this crazy son of a gun. So I go in there, and I took him off, slide him on a rope, and when I do something wet, hits me right on my shoulder. So I back up, and I look. Oh, my, first thing I thought, a baby bear. I'm a little concerned, baby bear, that's not cool. That's something fixing to go down bad here,
Right.
But I back up and kind of focus, and I said, hey, man, you ain't going to believe this. Bo, come here, man, there's a bear in the tree, that's what I thought. So I said, hold this dog, I ain't going to hold that idiot. So I go over and I tie him onto the deer fence, which is right not far from me, a truck length. I tie him on, I go up there, and I reach out in the tree, my foot, and I raise up. And when I do, I'm a little too close to this thing, but it's not a bear. It's somebody's pet monkey. I thought.
Oh.
I didn't know what to say. That's what it was. I still don't know what to say about it. So it's looking at me underneath the shoulder. Now, if you put your arm up and then look underneath your armpit like you're trying to smell your armpit.
Yes.
That's what it was doing. But it's a baby. It's just a little bitty pink, gray hair, real pinkish skin. I mean, young baby. It's not old at all. It's a girl. I can see her little cootie. I'm like looking at it. She's squatting on the limb. Little feet. I just backed down, and I'm just kind of dumbfounded now. So I back up, and I take a couple steps. I said, "Oh," he said, "Don't say nothing to me." I said, "Hey, man, there's somebody's pet. Richard, don't say nothing." I mean, he's serious. Do not. I said, "Man," he goes, "Don't tell me that's someone's pet monkey. It's got an ass like you got, boy. Look." And I look, and I'm going, "Gosh, it does. It's got an ass. Ain't got a tail. I can see it." Oh, about a second later, we feel something right behind us, man. And it just parades over the top of us. And I go to turn around to look, and I look up to my neck. I mean, I feel like I went up and I'm about to fall over. And it's this freaking mammoth mother.
Oh,
I mean, a freaking mammoth walks around us like it's no big deal. I'm thinking, man, baby mama, we're gonna die right here, man. Something's gonna happen bad. My buddy grabs me by the arm, and I swear he's trying to break it. He locks onto me like I'm gonna save him. I mean, it was sickening feeling. I don't know if you've ever, I don't know how to tell you this, but I thought I was having a nervous breakdown. Because all of this is not true. It's not. It's not. But there it is. And my dog, I had another dog buddy, which is dead, gone. She rubbed the top of my dog's head. I seen her hand while she walked to the tree between us. I seen her boobs. One of them was bent sideways, dirty. The other one was clean as a whistle, hung down straight. I can tell you what she was eating because I could smell it on her. I could see it in her teeth. She was eating palmetto berries.
And she bent down to pet your dog?
She rubbed my dog's head with her hand, and her arms are down like her at her knees, but she's crunched over, so it's hard to really tell that.
And your dog didn't go ballistic. He just kind of...
No, my dog didn't do nothing. My bulldog was tied behind a tree. I didn't know what he was doing because, honest to God, I couldn't tell you. But I seen her touch my dog's head.
Oh my gosh!
It's okay. It's like it's calm and it's cool. I mean, look, man. I didn't tell anybody this because I wouldn't believe you if you told me this. I tell you, the biggest liar I've ever heard. This is what it is. I'm not.
No, I believe you.
I don't need to do none of that.
No, I believe you.
Went to the inside the tree and reached in. Now she was scarred up real bad, and I think it looked like a gator had caught her before. On her tit, the bad tit, and on her arm there was some bad scarring, and all lined up as she moved her arm just right. And I speculate that. I don't know that for sure, but it looked like it to me. That's what that looked like. It looked like deep teeth marks from the bottom and the top. When the gator's got them holders, I've killed many of them, I know. And that's what it looked like when she ripped off of it. But I can tell you, she got the better of that son of a gun, because this means she's a female. Don't matter. She was built like she's been working on weights all of her life.
Wow.
So she reached in and popped a monster limb off the orange tree. I don't know if you know what an orange tree is or not, but you don't break an orange tree like that. You don't reach in and twist it with one hand and bust it. I don't care. The strongest man in the world, I like to see him do it. It ain't going to happen. And she turned around and went across us, and we put our arms up like she's going to whoop us. I don't know what I'm thinking. My brain is, I'm going on shutdown. So we put our arms up, and every time she does something, Bo mashes me even harder, and he's breathing. He stuck his nose and his mouth on my neck, and he's breathing on me so hard. It's really, I'm trying to keep him, and she's doing what she's doing, which wasn't bad. But I reached down on my side, and I do have a knife, but that's all. I didn't have a gun. I don't carry a gun in the woods. And I reached down, like, to my side, and she looked at me like she's going to kill me now. And I picked my hand back up, and her mouth just hung just kind of floppy, like flop. But when I put my hand down, look, these things are not stupid by no means. They are not. I seen it in her face. She thought I had a gun or something.
Ah, sure.
But when she put that limb in front of her, why she did it, I don't know. But she put it in front of her. The baby come off out of the tree and went right up on her shoulder, and she done a whistle through her throat somehow, like something. I don't know what it was. She done something through her mouth. I could hear it, but she didn't do it with her lips, but she did it with her mouth. The baby come out of the tree, grabbed her hair, went right up on her shoulder and looked right at us with her head back. Baby girl, baby mama. That's what she did.
Wow.
Now, I'm thinking, my dog got loose. He come untied, jerking on the fence, and when he did, I knew for sure now it's going down. I broke Bo. I slung him off. I reached down and grabbed the dog with one hand. With one hand, I picked this dog up and put my hand between his legs and my hand on his throat. And I had a death grip on this dog with one hand. I couldn't do this. I couldn't do it on a regular day to save my soul.
He was trying.
But I had so much blood going through me, and I was so scared. I was freaking out, and I done this, and I looked at myself like, oh my God. I mean, I was choking my dog to death, not knowing what I was doing. I mean, I really was. I didn't do it on purpose.
He was trying to get after her.
He was going to catch her. He was an idiot. It's a bulldog. He's a crazy dog. My other dog was around at that time. I had a dog named Buddy, dog named Chase, and I didn't name this dog. I just got him. I ain't had him long. So when she looked at, and she looked up like she looked through us. Well, she just looked straight because she was so towering us. It's unreal. Her big square teeth, or any questions, I can tell you anything you want to know about it. I seen it, and I seen it very good. It wasn't seconds. This is minutes. I'm ready to be done with this. And she looked And I turned around and looked behind me like, oh my God, we're got to do this again. I didn't see nothing. So I went, oh, I'm relieved. So I turned around and looked at her. I'm looking at her. There's no, she's standing. She's not doing nothing. The baby's kind of moving his fingers back. I could see his little fingers, kind of cute. The baby wasn't, she looked like, she had something wrong with her. Like, I don't know what you want to call it. She looked a little off and looking at her, but I don't know how to say that anyways. But she kept looking back behind us. And that's when I thought my buddy jerked my arm off, and he says, oh my God, look. And I looked behind. I didn't see it. I still didn't see nothing. And I turned around and looked back at her. I said, I am. He goes, no, look. I said, I am. She's not doing nothing. And he grabbed me I said, oh, you're look. And he pulled my arm down. I turned around and looked. And this thing had crawled up on us, crawled on the other side of the deer fence. And when I turned around and I'd seen this black thing, all I could see was black. We got this smell that it was in your mouth, Drew. Stunk. Oh my God, it was so bad. It was worse than bad. And I know he had cods, but I didn't see him, but I guarantee you he did, because this guy was way more aggressive and mean acting than she ever was. She never was aggressive acting to us. Only when I went to my side like I was going to get something, I wasn't going to get nothing. I wasn't going to do that, but she thought I was. That's the only look we got, that she did that. But this big son of a bitch did not. He was like he's going to come through the fence and kill us. And he grabbed it and he shook, and I could see, and he stunk so bad. Look, man, I couldn't stand the smell of this guy. It was bad. My dogs was gone. They disappeared. I looked for them. Like, I was looking, I was doing stuff. I don't know. I couldn't tell you what else I was doing, man, because I was so blown away for mocking my grandmother all these years, and all these people. I was being tormented, is what I was doing, because he grabbed these posts on a deer fence. You take any picture, Google it, you'll see great big posts, monster posts. In between those posts, there's sixes. This was 6.5 inches around diameter. This big guy grabbed it and popped it like it was a stick off a dead limb. And when it popped, my whole body jumped inside of my body. I don't know if you understand what I'm telling you, but my body jumped inside my body. That's what it did. I don't know no other way to tell you what he did. And he strutted back and forth and kind of blew at us and done his thing at us and was going away. And I was going to go back, and I thought, I can't go back, man. She's back there. What? And I turned around and looked. She's gone. She's no longer there. So I'm trying to get him back. He goes, what are you doing? I said, get back. I said, she's not there. He goes, how the hell do you know? I said, she's not there. He goes, I didn't see where she went. I didn't know, man. He was killing me. All of them was killing me. He was just breathing on my neck and just give me a break, man. He finally turned back at us, and like he was going to leave, and he come back and he done that step thing back at us one more time, and then he went down, and when he hit all fours, it's the fastest thing I could see. I could see almost a half a mile down that white sand, and he disappeared in a speck. 1, 2, 3, gone. That's how fast he did. And not just that, but he made a left into a swamp that you couldn't get in with any vehicle you got unless it was a tank. But that's where he went, into that swamp. On all fours, like a dog, like a cow. That's what he did. But he crawled up on us like a... Look, man, these things ain't nothing to play with. I'm not kidding you. This is what I told you. I told Wes. You're the second person I told this to. Because, let me ask you this, and honestly.
Yes.
Would you believe that? Really? Really? Come on.
If I was the average Joe out in public, I would say honestly no.
That's why we didn't want to say. What do you say to that?
You can't
you don't say nothing to that.
Yeah, you really, for the average person, they would think you escaped from some type of mental institution. Or
I was on drugs, and I don't do drugs. I don't even smoke marijuana. I don't do none of that stuff.
But
that's what gets. I don't. But that was what happened to me, and really stopped my outside life. I raise birds. You hear my birds hollering, Bob Whites. I send them all over the world. That was my hunting because I missed it.
Sure.
But I didn't want to go. If I went in the woods, I looked like some idiot that every time something popped, I was looking and would catch myself shaking so bad I couldn't hold my cigarette. I was an idiot. My buddy Bo still don't hunt to this day, doesn't go in the woods, doesn't do anything. He's retired and doesn't even own a dog.
I was going to ask if he's ever spoken about this again to you.
I tell you what, I talked to Bo about 2 years about it, and he said, Richard, do you care about me? I said, Bubba, you know I do. He goes, then if you care, if you have any feelings towards me at all, don't ever say this to me again, please. It has ruined and devastated my life. It's taken everything I love from me. I don't want to discuss this ever again. And I have not said nothing to my buddy about that since.
Wow. Well,
and I wonder why he didn't want to talk to me no more. It's because I brought it up, in the conversation sometimes, because it was a big deal to me.
Well, it's an emotional, I can tell you why. Because anything with a extreme high degree of emotional state and fear and raw, just primordial fear with emotion that is so undescribable, so out of the body experience, it creates a post-traumatic stress disorder or syndrome that if people talk about it, their heart rate goes up, their adrenaline goes up, their emotion, their fear, their palms start getting sweaty, and it is an anxiety disorder. And so if some people, they don't want to talk about it because they feel their body going back there, their mind going back there. Whereas what we do know now, everybody's built different emotionally. And of course, sometimes intellectually, but emotionally, we're all built different. How our emotions, how we control our emotions, and a lot of it is how we're raised. And what we do know is that when people share and talk about it with people that believe them, you don't have to convince me. I'm already in the group of knowers, not believers, but I know that these things exist, is that it's a different group. And I know it sounds cliche when people say, alcoholics, they go to these groups and they make fun of these people. Well, there's a lot of health and healing to that. That's why they do it. That's why these groups are formed. So I will agree. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I'm going to tell you, that's what saved me. My youngest daughter, I got 6 kids. So when I tell you I was hog hunting for money, I was really hog hunting for money. And I worked a regular job. And my daughter tricked me in to talking to Wes, what I just told you. It was like a trick. She got me. And I started talking more, and actually, I started feeling better. That's the only reason I went to the park, during the day. I was willing to go at night, and I tried to get him to go, but he wouldn't. But, I can go, I mean, I'm not like I was, gung-ho. I'm not, and I don't mean not to be, but I'm not going to let it cripple me no more. I'm almost 52, and I don't know. I have badgered so many people about this subject before this happened to me, that I really feel guilty about that. But my story is worse than any I've ever heard. I don't hear of many, but still, if I wasn't going to believe nobody, I wouldn't believe myself. More or less than I seen it cross the road, or it looked at me through a bush or something stupid, But something like that, it just seems so, it's not supposed to be real anyways, man. See, that's it. It's...
You know what I'm saying? I slept in a hammock. I carried a hammock because the snakes are bad. And I put a hammock in between trees, and my dog slept underneath me. That's how I stayed in the woods. I stopped, and I built a camp. That's where we stayed that night, and we got the next day and carried on. That's how I was raised. My grandmother built a cot. It was built out of scrub mud. And that's what if I didn't have it, I couldn't sleep good because I was a spoiled little kid, And my grandmother made it by hand. And That's why it's not supposed to be real. It's not supposed to be. It's not. And if somebody tells you a tale like I just told you, come on, man. You don't go around and tell people crap like that.
No, well, and that's why I had the gentleman that I still contact. I don't know if you've heard, our episode 24, the gentleman that him and his cousin were attacked in Ohio. I still stay in
I've never heard any of your episodes, but I will after this night, I promise you.
Well, it's once you hear that episode, you'll feel for him, and you'll know that you guys can be definitely kindred spirits. He never knew anything like this existed. He was just a good old guy, good old boy. He's just raising his family, and him and his cousin were like brothers, and they went fishing. And I won't give it all away, but I'll just say that listen to episode 24, and they had a very, very scary encounter that his cousin was injured, and this male came out and attacked the cousin, made contact, broke his ribs, and a whole mess of cover-ups ensued after that. So
I don't listen. I listen to some. I do because my daughter, but it's just, man, I don't know what, there's nothing to say. You can't even bring something out of it, but I try. I deal with it. I really do every day of my life.
I believe it.
I see his face. I see his mouth with his teeth all wadded together like there's too many teeth growing together. He didn't have no sharp teeth. It just looked like he needed braces really bad, if you follow what I'm saying. It looked like a whole lot of teeth that were just crooked and nasty. Her teeth wasn't. Her teeth just had palmetto berries in them, and you could see it hanging out of her lip, and she smelled I know I could see what she was eating. I was looking at her. I was scared then. Now, he didn't have to do all that crap to us, but he could have killed us. You were really simple, easy.
You were too close to his family.
I didn't. I was worried about the baby, anything. That's why, because I was waiting for something to come charging,
Yeah.
And then when I seen the monkey, I didn't know what to think. I just quit thinking about being scared because it was a damn. It's a monk. It's a monkey.
Did it look like the face of a monkey? I mean,
it looked just like a monkey.
Wow.
It did, except it's got a butt like I've got, you got, and she has a thing just like a little girl's got. Yes,
and it was you could see kind of had pink skin.
It all had, it was all pink skin, and it was all the hair. You know what moss is?
Yes.
It looked just like moss.
Oh, wow.
If she balled up in a tree, in an oak, anywhere, Florida, anywhere in an oak, it'd have been a ball. It'd have been a ball of moss. You'd have never thought no more about none. You'd just kept right on going.
Wow.
Okay, here's another thing. That's why I don't like talking about this. Anything this big, and this ain't nothing small. This is big, ferocious, monster arms. These things look like they work out from the day they're born. They've got some arms on them. You can see the rips in them. Even her, this big 7+. He was every bit of 8 foot. I know he was. I didn't tape and measure it and do all that because I was so shook up that I went back there the next day and seen it, and I took pictures of broke stuff. What is that going to tell you? A tractor or a car hit it or a cow hit it? Come on. The sand just falls down. You can't get tracks, but these things are so big. Why haven't we got one? You follow what I'm saying? This is why I didn't believe it to begin with.
Well, are you saying why haven't we got one? Like, why haven't we...
I know why we haven't got one now. Because anybody got caught doing it, it would be taken from them. Anybody that's got real evidence, they're going to come get them, just like you just told me. So I pretty well got this figured out now. What's up?
Yeah. So that's why I tell people on this last episode that we ran, episode 27, I've got a contact there in Central Florida, and he told me, he said, Lance, I never thought in a million years crap like this would happen where I live.
Can I say something real quick? Let me ask you this. Does this got something to do with a lady shooting a bear?
Yes.
The lady shooting a bear.
Yep.
I will kiss my butt.
Yep.
Because that's what they said. It was a bear. Some lady shot a bear.
Yep. That's exactly what they told him. He walked down to the end of the block, him and his neighbor. When you listen to our episode, day by day, he was giving me a relay what was happening. And he went down with his neighbor, who she just got through seeing a Bigfoot, like moments earlier. Scared the living hell out of her. She never believed him. And finally, she said, come over, get a gun. And he came over. She said, I'm sorry, I doubted you. I'm sorry. These things are real. They're real. I saw one. And so he calmed her down. She was trying to tell her husband, and he wouldn't believe her. He said, oh, hell, you saw a bear. Damn it. Don't get all bent out of shape. She said, the hell I did. I saw a Bigfoot. So anyway, he went and calmed them both down. And then he was going to leave her house. And as he was stepping out his neighbor's door, which she lives across the street, they see two vehicles with lights blaring down the end of the neighborhood and stop about 150 yards at a neighbor's house. Well, I won't give too much of the story away. I narrated the story. He didn't want to go on. He didn't want to go on the air. He said, Lance...
I don't blame him.
He said, Lance, if you can just tell the story, I don't care, but please don't give my name. And I promised him I wouldn't, and we're still good friends. We talk about every week or two.
Well, I'm going to tell you that I heard this from a game warden named... I don't want to say his name, I better not, but he told me that the lady shot the bear. Shot the bear defending herself or her family or something in that nature.
Hey, so how did...
A bear here is the biggest bear here I could pick up myself and throw in the truck. Come on.
So he brought up this story. Tell me again how this story got brought up.
This is what happened. I told the gentleman that it's my neighbor, game warden. It's what he does for a living. We talk all the time. He gets some birds from me. He eats birds, and and he told me that he brought up bears. There's starting to be more bears. Blah 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 blah. One of them got hit at on Highway 70, which is going right to where you're telling me, and a lady had just shot one. Now this had to be pretty recently. Now I'm talking like last week, I think.
Yeah, this occurred actually December. This was in the early morning hours. Early morning hours of December 11th of 2017.
Okay, well then it had to be because he just told me. Just recently he told me, and I said, shot a bear. Was it rabies or something? Because you don't get that here, man. Come on, it's not something it's not true. So I asked, and I questioned him about it because a lady, it was trying to get her. Come on. And that's what I did say that 2 or 3 different times. And I can tell you his name and you can look it up so you know who I'm telling you. It's a fact. He's been here he's been in this district for over 9 years. He's in Okeechobee before he come this way. So I'm not far from your partner there. I'm not far at all, really. As a crow flies, I'm not.
No, I want to tell you something. These game wardens in every district, in every county, they are fully aware and very well trained. When they become a game warden, they know and understand about these Bigfoot creatures and cryptids.
Well, that's why I talked to him, because I told him the facts, and he knows. He knows because he's a neighbor. We talk. They eat supper. We kids, grandkids. So I know a little more, but I sure don't want to get him in any trouble. That's why I know what I know. They know.
Yeah.
For a fact, they know.
Yeah.
But I do know that they can only do a couple of things, and that's all they can do.
Yeah, it's kind of out of their jurisdiction in a way.
That's absolutely a fact.
Because what they do is that they are the contact, the source that starts the ball rolling and the firestorm going. Because what they do is they're kind of the wildlife contact when people do make contact with these things, however they make them, or whether you're being harassed or you shoot one or you see one up close and it's repeated visits. But basically the next line of people coming and visiting you are government cars, military, and so it kind of starts the ball rolling with the game wardens.
Unreal. Well, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. So just to sum this up, I was told in the area that the bear was killed that they had some exercises there. Is that true? The military had an exercise.
Well, it's shortly after, quote unquote.
That's not true. They was looking for something.
Yes, they were. What happens is that you'll find that when a quote unquote wild bear was killed or a wild pack of dogs, that I'm not saying they don't exist. We know both of those animals exist.
Yes, we do.
But what happens? That's the scenario. That's the MO there, is those two things. More, it's a bear, right? So then what happens?
I was dumb. I was dumb to this because I don't think that. I know. Why should I think that way?
Well, most people don't, because...
But now this happened, and you're telling me this, and I know what this guy's telling you is the truth because I know part of it from the guy that part of his people was there.
Exactly.
And I can find out more. I will find out more about this now.
So what happened is, shortly after the bear was killed, the following day, when you listen to the last episode that I narrated, 27, my contact, he said that he was with his buddy to look for his dog. One of his dogs got loose, and it's one of his hunting dogs. And he was concerned. He couldn't find it. And he asked him, he said, will you come with me on my property? And the reason why he asked him is because he has seen a Bigfoot before while he was deer hunting, and it scared the hell out of him. And so he didn't want to be by himself. So my contact said, well, sure, I'll go with you. He said, well, let's get the other neighbor who they know that has property adjoining his. And they said, sure, we'll all three go together. So they were no sooner out there than about 50 yards out in neighbor one's woods, and they see 10 military soldiers walking around with AR-15s.
That's right. And
they were out there and they were like, what the hell? And so neighbor one goes up and he said, hey boys, what's going on here? And a gentleman that came up that had he had the stripes as a sergeant, he said, come up, and he says, we're conducting a military training exercise, sir. He said, the hell you are? It's private property. No, I didn't give you my authority. I got posted, no hunting, no fishing everywhere. And he said, who's your commander? So a lieutenant came up, this young, cocky guy, and he said, sir, if you don't move, we will remove you right now. He said, the hell this is my property. He said, we can go anywhere we want, sir. And if you don't leave, we will make you leave immediately. Are we clear? So at the same, when they were actually seeing these soldiers walking around, at the same time, there was small scout helicopter flying overhead with
black with a bubble underneath it. I guarantee it.
Yep, it was. I've
seen the helicopter. That's why I know. This is crazy.
Yep.
This is crazy. This is crazy.
Yep. It was unmarked. There's no lettering. There's no numbers. It was
Nothing.
One of those smaller helicopters with the dark bubble underneath. It's a heat-seeking. It's thermal.
That's what that is?
Yep. It's a thermal or a heat-seeking device, and it's night vision. It's a military night vision where they can pick these things up miles away.
I cannot believe this. Well, I can tell you this for a fact. I don't know the guy you're talking about, but I can tell you he's not lying. He's telling you the truth.
Oh, I believe it. He's
well, you can believe it because I'm telling you for a fact. I know. I've seen the chopper, and they had two choppers out, not one but two.
At the state park?
Yes, they had them at the state park. There was two, not one but two.
Ah, interesting. That's interesting.
One was inside doing the small roofs, and the one was on the outside doing the opposite of what the one in the middle was doing.
Wow. So they had the full-scale deal going on right there while you guys were there.
Unbelievable.
Yes.
That's easy to say, but now, how Well, somebody had to tell him. Somebody
started something.
JT wasn't the only person that had witnessed this. Somebody else inside there had witnessed this.
Yeah, somebody had to tip them off to get the ball started rolling. Either a person saw this thing there, either they had contact with this thing, it hurt somebody, someone got the ball started. They called either a state park ranger, some authority, a game warden, who knows. But they just don't magically show up until they are notified, and then it's a full-scale operation where they basically locate, extract, remove, and then clean up the area where there's no evidence of any tracks, scat, prints, you name it. They're there scouting. When you listen to the last episode, which was 27 and 24, and how they go in there and they clean up the area afterward, so there is no evidence, as if nothing ever happened.
Yep, like your telephone or any other thing you got. Well, I like to know how they messed up my dadgum laptop in my truck because they didn't touch it.
Well,
that's what I like to know.
Here, I'm going to tell you something, and what they can do once they have your ID. Once they know who you are, I'm telling you, nowadays, they can go in there, they can find everything since the day you were born. And what they can do is they can go in to the server system of your computer without you opening it. They can go on any drives out there in the cloud, so to speak. If you've saved anything on the cloud, or you have anything once you're online and you're plugged in or you're on Wi-Fi, I'm telling you, it's not. They've got software systems that can break anything, can go into anything, and there is some ways.
What they did to mine is they wiped it. I didn't even have my wife's number on there because I can call her and we look, she talks to me, I look, and we look at each other, but I don't have my dad's I don't have nothing. It was gone. Gone.
And you had the computer the whole time. They didn't touch it.
No, they didn't touch it. I made sure of that. I stood my ground until, I would have let them take it if they would talk, but they wasn't talking. They was kind of like being bullies. They was, when they pulled their little chain out and, flashed it there, of course, JT back there, I didn't. That don't mean nothing to me. Because you got a badge don't mean you're better than me. I wasn't doing nothing wrong, but I thought that they was investigating some of the people that was there with the kids, not what I was looking at. I was fixing to go viral over this. I was going to get my daughter to put it on everything if we could.
Well, here's the thing. That was what I was going to say next. Here's the thing that I've seen. When you listen to episode 24, the cousin that got hit tried to do just that. He tried to go to the newspaper and the radio station, and they made his life hell. They basically, from their perspective, they can lie, and make up anything they want. His cousin lost his job that he's had for 15 years from a very good friend, and they basically lied to the employer, his good friend, that he was doing drugs when he was not. He lost his job. They turned off his utilities. It made it worse. I'll just say that. I'm not saying don't do nothing. I'm just saying
I got to do something.
Just let things lie down just a little bit from if it just happened. And again, you said this latest thing happened just New Year's.
Yeah, no, right before New Year's, right? The weekend, and Monday's New Year, but it happened the weekend because that's and they was having some party with the kids. I don't know if it was a birthday party, if it was what it was. I wasn't there to look at the party.
Usually a pinata, a birthday.
Yeah, they was trying to get it. They spin the kids. They put the thing on their eyes.
It's a birthday party.
And tie it and spin the kid, and they was laughing, and I looked at it for a little bit, thinking, he goes, yeah, they're full of candy or something, full of gifts or something. I went, oh, okay.
That's usually a birthday party.
Because there was a bunch of kids. Man, if this thing, I don't know how they didn't see this, because when he lowered that branch, you could see him as plain as anything, as your hand in front of your face. The sun was perfect. You could see the complexion. You could see everything. you could see the wrinkles and everything. I mean, it was...
The buddy that is on episode 24, we still talk. He's one of the cousins that didn't get hurt. He told me the whole story of what happened, and he was just trying to understand. And the people that he would go to for authorities that he thought he was going to get help from, they just kind of crucified him. They just made him out like a liar, a disbeliever. He's like he was on crack. And he just said, I'm telling you the truth. Well, he's told people, and his wife didn't believe him, his pastor didn't believe him, and he was frustrated and upset. And I said, look, you're trying to feed people an elephant when they can't take it. So much has happened and all this cover-up. I said, you're going to have to start slow and feed them a spoonful at a time over time. I said, the person that you can talk to are people like me that understand, and that's why these shows exist, for people to share, because there's... We know. You don't even have to tell us.
Absolutely.
We know. And this whole cover-up agency, we know about them too. And they've existed for a long time, and they're really good at what they do.
I just don't understand the purpose of that.
Well, I'll tell you what the purpose is.
It took my buddy's life. I mean, really, honestly, he worked. That's all he's done. He don't fish. He don't even go in the woods. You say woods, and I'm telling you, he's scared. It's ruined his life.
I know he doesn't want to talk about it, and I totally respect that. I can't even imagine that moment you guys were there. I mean, that's had to be just absolutely terrifying.
Well, when someone tells you an out-of-a-body experience, I can tell you that is really true, because I felt that way twice at that time. Once when I really wasn't being threatened, but I didn't know what to think. Baby, mom, die, that's all that was in my brain.
Right.
And this big, nasty, stinking son of a gun done what that took a lot from... Well, it took years. I mean, it's 18, and I'm just, in the last few years now, I'm starting to get where I'm feeling, I'm not going to let it cripple me no more. And I did let it cripple me, because I had to sleep with this stuff. I've been to the doctor, man. I've taken sleep meds. They give me stuff that made me a little loopy, and because I can drink a beer and be drunk, because I don't drink. And I had to quit it, and now I go to bed at 1 o'clock, still to this day, and I wake up at 5:36 every morning. I go to work, and that's the only sleep I get since this has happened. I can't stop that. I don't know how to stop that.
And that occurred 18 years ago, you said?
Absolutely. And Wow. This guy's got a long road, because the first few years was my hardest years.
Well, I was going to say, I respect that he doesn't want to talk about it. I mean, I definitely wasn't there. Only you two experienced this horrific event. But I will say this, the best thing, even though I know he doesn't want to, the best thing over time he can do, and he doesn't know this yet, he may feel it, and it's scary to even remotely think about it, but he really should talk about it. He really should share. He really should discuss with you what happened and go through the whys and the how comes, or talk with someone like us on one of these shows, because we understand. You don't have to convince us. We're in the know. We're the knower group. And
I feel better when I started. Like I told you, I talked to Wes. I felt better than I ever did after I talked to him.
Oh, yeah.
I've listened to other people's things, not many, but when I do get a chance, and it's made me feel even better, and I pushed it aside, and then I got a couple cop friends, and they know, I know, I'm telling you, I know what's up. I just didn't know that they was trying to keep this a big secret for some unstupid reason. I don't even get it. Yeah. It's there, and we know. I'm not the only person. Come on, man. There's got to be thousands of us that know this.
Oh yeah, there are thousands. That's what our estimates are. We don't really know, because so many people have been blackmailed and coerced to keeping their traps shut. And some people move away from the area entirely. It scares them so bad. They just move back to the city, and they just want to forget about it. They've been told to keep the trap shut. Plus, nobody will believe you, so,
That's what I was told when he handed me my phone. Who's going to believe that?
Who's going to believe that? And that's just it.
Real smart ass.
Yep.
Really smart.
Really
I'm not kidding. That's
cocky.
That got my crawl, man.
It's already on their side because they know that if you start saying anything about this, that other people are going to rank this up there with the Easter Bunny.
Yep.
They already know it's on their side. It's already on their side, and they know that. And so what they do is they go with it. They go with that disbelief, that mass disbelief of the general public that these Bigfoot exist, but also they know that if you start saying that, not only did you see it, but there was 2 cars that came up with government tags. My dog was foaming at the mouth. They took my phone. They took my SIM card, and other people are going to go, "Oh, right, you're a conspiracy guy, right? What? You just had some bad liquor."
That's exactly what I didn't know what to say. I went to call a lawyer, and that's exactly what I was doing in my head. Really, Richard? What are you going to tell him? The boogeyman? Come on.
Yeah, I'm afraid that once they get a hold and collect your phones, your SIM card, your camera, once they collect any recording devices, you won't see them again. You won't see them again, and you won't even know who to contact. Because you'll call somebody at a government, your senator, and they'll say, I can't find out the agency. Do you know the agency? Well, no, I don't know. They were in black cars and government tags. Well, can you be more specific? Well, the hell no, I can't. They had these tags. They didn't introduce themselves. I don't know. So I'm afraid that's just going to be gone.
Let me ask you this. This is what I want to do. And actually, I'm fixing to go. I'm going to finish feeding. I'm going to go back to the port. And I'm waiting to see if I can see these vehicles come anywhere. One of them. I'm going to fall in behind them. And they took a month's worth of work off my laptop. It's bidding, underground utilities, storm, sewer, months of figuring these $1 million jobs. This is not just talk. This is real stuff. This has took me hours to do that they've taken. Not just that, but my pictures that I've got, my grandkids and certain things, and my tower boat that I can't get back. I mean,
you know what I would do? Let me give you some advice if you're going to do this. Do you mind?
Go right ahead.
I would say this. If you make contact with them again, and I'm just throwing this out here to get your work back, because I know work like that it's just hours and hours and hours and hours and hours of just detailed stuff that you need. So I would say if you make contact with them, be up front and talk about the elephant in the room. Just say, look, I understand now, when I didn't at first, I understand why you took my SIM card. And I understand in some way why you were able to, I don't know how, but you were able to get on my computer. I want to make a bargain. Give me back my work stuff, utility stuff that's out thousands of hours of work that I desperately need, and I'll be quiet about this. I won't go to the authorities. I won't talk about it. And I just need my pictures back of my family that are irreplaceable. I need my work back that's irreplaceable. And that's the deal. So I need my work back.
Okay.
I mean,
I'm
just throwing it out there. Now, that doesn't mean that down the road you can talk to whoever you want. Me, Wes.
Oh, I'm going to crawfish on them. They're liars. Listen, I'm not. I'll cross my fingers. I'm not a liar, but I will crawfish on them.
I would just say,
and crawfish means you will crawfish. That means you're not going to be honest about it, and I won't be. Not what they did to me.
So just
no way.
I would just put that on the bargaining table, and I just call it out like it is. I just say, I know why. I know why you got my SIM card, because you saw that I took some picture of that creature, whatever the hell it was. I don't know what it was, but you thought maybe somehow, I don't know how you did it, you got on my computer, and I didn't have anything on there. So here's what I'm saying. I will shut up about what I saw, where I saw it, who I was with, all that, if you will just give me back my work. I need my work. I need my pictures. There's nothing on there. and that way everybody's happy, you're happy, you get what you want, and I get my work back.
I will do that. I've not seen them. I've been there a number of days already, and I've not seen nothing. But there's 2 entrances, so if I don't see nothing in the middle, at the front gate, I'm going to go to the middle because I do have the pass. I can get in anytime, and I will go to the middle and wait. I just need this really bad, and I just wish somebody could do something to these people, really. I mean, they need to get a taste of what they've done. All right, and man, just please keep my number.
I will. We're going to keep in contact with each other if you don't mind.
You call me anytime you want, day or I don't care when it is, because I'm not. There's a place in the park that's really thick, and I was born and raised here, and I was born and raised right outside of Kentucky in Tennessee. Have you ever heard of LBL?
Oh yeah.
Okay, and there's Richard. That's me. You'll see. That's my house, right? My mom and dad's, and I got my place here in Central Florida also. But I've lived there over all my life, and these 2 places is all I've ever been. So I know a lot about over there. I can tell you stuff that's happened to people there. It's just crazy, but I didn't believe it, but I do now, but I didn't believe none of that, but I believe it all now, always too late, but these people here need to really be stopped, and I hope y'all guys come up with some way to do that and let me know what I can do, because this is not even cool. This guy lost his job. This is the best old man you've ever met in your life, and I feel like I've done him wrong, and I didn't know that I was doing anything wrong.
Well, you can't.
Honest, I didn't.
You can't blame yourself, Richard. I mean, honestly, you had no clue. You were just being a friend. You were just going with him to help him understand.
That's all. And I even went in the daytime because he didn't want to go, so I could at least see it. I thought we would see it there, not during the day. No way. But
this thing had to be very bold and brazen to go out and be seen by people.
Well, if you'd have seen how it was looking at the kids, I'm gonna say pinata because that keeps me with a sane mind. But if it was looking at the kids the way it was looking at what it was doing, it was frightening. I'm telling you, it was frightening.
Did it look like it wanted to attack?
Yes, it did. The kids got to being, noisy and hitting, and that's when I could see him the best. When it was quiet and no one really doing anything, and they were just talking and laughing, he was hiding. But when it got really active, he was like, I'm going to come get him. I'm going to get one. That's why I took it. That's why I got 14 grandkids. So I love, this bothered me. The way he was acting towards the kids, man. This is not cool at all.
So this
anybody in this world seen what it was doing, they would freak out, just like I did. Because
how much
he acted like he wanted the kids.
He was just itching to get one of them. He was just
yes. The more the kids got hitting and active, that's when I could see him the best, because it was coming out, his front was coming out even more, like, here, he looked at us one time, Dad looked at us and seen us. I know he's seen us because I don't know he's seen us, but he looked at us, and his face, like, he wasn't, he was more serious when he looked at us, but when he looked at them, it acted like he was hungry or something. It just didn't act right. I'm just telling you this now. Not cool at all with the kids, at all.
You said that the height was around 7'9". Do you?
Yes, every bit. And now,
what do you think it weighed?
I'm going to always say a little low. That way, I know that I'm not exaggerating. Because you catch a fish and you always want to make it a couple more pounds.
Sure.
But without exaggerating none, 650.
Wow.
650, something like that.
Wow.
But you're talking something that's 4 foot, 4 foot, right dead, and between his tits, every bit from shoulder to shoulder, I know 4 foot. If it wasn't 4 foot, I ain't missing it by much. Because he never turned. I don't know, but their head don't, I don't know how to explain it, but he don't turn, his head doesn't turn. Does that make any sense to you?
So it was almost like his head was rigid. He turned his whole body?
Yes, like he turned it like this in all faces for them couple just seconds now, because he was more interested in them kids, what they was doing, than us. Period. I can tell you that. Because I went up there, shut it down, then I cranked it back up, was gonna go, and he started talking, and then I got the trucks. If you touch the brake, it shuts down. It's one of those new crazy things that shuts off itself when you got your foot on the brake and all that. It was cranking back up when I let off the brake and stuff. I mean, I wasn't focusing on nothing because it was daytime. What are you going to see in the daytime? Come on, there's a big party right here. What's the chances of that? Right. And then it happened, and then everything else goes out the window, because I'm not so scared right now because I'm inside the truck, and I got the perfect side view right there, and, man, here we go. And I never seen that truck. I seen it go by, and I seen him slow down and look real hard, but I didn't think they was looking at me, I didn't take that. And I seen them breaking, and then I was more interested in getting more pictures of this thing. And I just said, you know what? I need a video. And I was getting the video thing because I don't do that stuff on my phone. I've never done. I've taken pictures, that's easy. But the video thing, it has the red thing, and if you hit it more than once, it starts and shuts off again. And because I did that a couple times. I know I did because I was trying to get the feel of it. And then that's when they pull up there and said I was messing the investigation up, and then we go up the front, and then it's just all a big lie. It's all a big fat lie is all they did. That's all they did. So
when you said they went up front, where up front did they want you to go?
They wanted me to go up towards the front office where you come in and pay when you come in the park.
Oh, I see. And they were all...
There's a side road right there that they pull, and they go into the play park that you walk around, and it comes right back to where I was at, because that's where the garbage cans was getting checked out. Everywhere there's a picnic table is a garbage can.
Did you see...
This thing would go to the garbage cans every night.
Did you see any military there while you were there?
No, I didn't see none of that while I was there.
But you saw the cars, and was there just a woman, or did she have a partner, or...
Yeah, there was one in one car and one in the other. They was partners. They was a team.
They were a team.
They was working together. Same year, same black, same tint, same tags, same everything.
Was it like a Crown Victoria type of car that she had, black Crown Victoria, or a...
No, it was a black... You know what? Yes, there was a black Victoria. Yes, exactly what. There was one parked there, but I did not see anybody get out of that car. It was running, but I couldn't. You can't see in the car, so...
Right.
But yeah, it was. But I didn't see I didn't see no tag. But yeah, it's all black, and you can't see in nothing. You can't see any of it.
Right. She must have had. She had some type of a high frequency type of device that only we. I mean, when you start getting over 20,000 hertz, the human ear can't hear that. So she had something that causes a lot of discomfort. They must think that this thing is part canine. For sure, or they wouldn't run that like that. And you said that when you were observing this thing and you saw these cars go by, it ran off?
Oh, it looked. It squatted, and I seen it real good when it squatted because it went underneath the limb like it was going down, and it was gone. I seen a couple limbs move in the back, and it was booking. It was gone. That's when my dog was doing a shaking and was whining real bad and acting crazy. I mean, I stopped and looked like like he's hurt. He was hurt, and it was hurting his head. And it done it again when I pulled back up there, because when I got up there, he started. When I got real close, when I parked, he was right back into full mode and slobbering out of his mouth. It was hurting him bad.
We'll stay in contact, and be careful when you
I
go.
Because I'm going back. Like I say, I'm going to leave out of here as soon as I'm done with you, and I'm going to.
And contact me tomorrow.
And I will pull.
Yeah, contact me anytime. You've got my phone number. This is my personal cell. And
I'll call the number that...
if you want to call my toll-free number, you can.
Okay.
And the number that this comes up...
Well, people need that, man. I'm going to tell you, I wish I would have knew something about that a few years ago, because I'm telling you, I had a really... Not like my partner, man, because I'm going to tell you, he's not the same person. He's a real good guy, man. We had a lot of good times, but it was off like you turn the lights off.
Yeah.
It was done, and I was too. I was really done. I mean, that stuff's serious. People they want to laugh and mock. I could care less.
We'll keep in contact, and if I don't hear from you in a day or two, I'll call you back.
Yes, I'm going to be, like I say, I'm on this until I can get something back, because I've got so much, there's some stuff I can't not get back. You know, I've got to get it back. I don't know what to do. I'm going to play the game he said, and that's what I'm going to try. I will try anything to get it back.
Good luck and blessings
all right,
there,
buddy.
my friend.
I appreciate it. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Let me bend on your ear a little bit there.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you just keep me informed here what's going on.
All right, I will do that. You have a great night, man.
Okay, you too. Take care, buddy.
All right, thanks.
Bye-bye. So I wanted to follow up here with a little brief commentary regarding what Richard had described he saw in that Florida State Park. Now, he spoke of two different incidences here. 18 years ago, he had a terrifying, very terrifying Bigfoot encounter in which him and a very good friend, while they were hog hunting, encountered a female baby squatch in a tree with the mother shortly following, and then the big alpha male was right there. Extremely terrifying. He did share that episode with Wes on Sasquatch Chronicles, and we were the second people he shared that with. He said that, of course, a lot of people in that area knew about it. He had shared it quite a few times. Now, he didn't state that any Men in Black or anybody came to visit him on that. I didn't get that. I didn't ask him. But this last, the reason why he did call us was the most recent that occurred a week before New Year's, was this sighting at a Florida State Park. As you heard, he was just trying to help a friend out. This was a separate friend. And the friend was seeing something he thought was a homeless person getting the garbage, and they parked right midday. The friend said, usually this time of day, we park right here. It's in these trash cans, and boom, wouldn't you know, they saw the branches move. Based on what Richard was describing, he knew what a Bigfoot looked like, having had close proximity to the first incident 18 years ago, but he didn't know. If you noticed, he was stuttering quite a bit on trying to describe it, and he really couldn't describe it. Now, it was kind of going back and forth into the bushes, but at one point in time, he said when the kids were hitting and laughing and screaming and hitting the piñata, that this thing just stepped out, and that's when he got a picture, a very clear picture, and that would have been amazing to see that photo. He said, Lance, there was no blurriness. It was perfect, and I got it. But if you notice, he was kind of stuttering, trying to describe it, and I suspect it was a hybrid, something that like a dog squatch. Vic on Dogman Encounters call, from the canine version, it would be kind of like the Type 3 version. So I suspect it was something to that nature, some hybrid. He talks about that there was a muzzle, but it wasn't really pronounced. He didn't go right to, it looked like a werewolf, as most people do. It had pointed ears, but it really didn't, as most people to go into the canine version. He could see the chompers, he could see the teeth, it had height, and it had massive weight to it. And I suspect, in the tonality of his voice and him being very, very rural and country growing up, he's really, and that's kind of a criteria that I use, is how well can people predict heights and weights. And usually if you grow up in the country, you can do that very well. You just kind of know what things are when you hunt long enough, or you're on farms and ranches and things of that nature. So I suspect, again, it was a hybrid. But what he did not plan on, and I suspect, and why he was totally taken off guard, is that he did not encounter any Men in Black type of personnel in that first encounter 18 years ago with that Bigfoot family. And so this was all new to him, these people, what they do, how they do what they do, and how they're able to extract information off a laptop with not even physically giving them that. I suspect had he not given them the SIM card, there would probably be a portion erased from that. We did a part 2 to this episode, and I think you really want to listen to it, because he actually, as in the latter part, as we got off this part 1, he did go back. He found that same gentleman and female in the black cars. He found them, and he spoke with them for about an hour. And I think you're going to find it very interesting what they had to tell him and what they shared with him. So I just wanted to hit the high points there, folks. We can learn from every episode. And what we can learn here, is it better to know something or know these people exist or not know? Of course, it's better to know. And just be aware that if you ever see these creatures like this, please just don't go and share it with everybody, because We don't want you being visited by these people. They're very good at what they do. They're not nice. They don't play well with others. They're very direct. They use tactics. They use blackmail, coercion, and they don't care if you lose your job or not. And remember what that gentleman, that agent, told Richard? No one's really going to believe you. So that's on their side, and they do it very well. I hope you found this very interesting. I know I did. I learned from every episode. I want to thank you for listening. Stay tuned for part 2. Until then, this is Lance Hightower with Cryptid Brothers Investigation of Oklahoma.